Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on a topic which is completely in sync, in synchronicity with the transit. So you know that I live my life completely in harmony with the nature. So right now in the transit, moon is transiting in the Aquarius sign. It is conjunct with Rahu at a time when I'm recording this video. So I just thought around Rahu we have had our discussion on some important topics, but somehow there is one more subject or topic which require our extensive attention, which is about the Bhrigu Bindu, which is also called as the destiny point or the fortune point. And friends, see, I always say that in certain areas, even if you know the mathematical calculation for any specific axis in your chart, that also gives you this information that the kind of logic, enlightened state which our ancient sages they put into those calculation. For example, when I explained you the concept of the calculation of the Hindu Lagna, I mentioned it over there that if you will get into the nitty-gritty of the calculation of the Hindu Lagna, a very important point which talks about the wealth potential, that over there you have to see the longitude and the points of the ninth house from the ascendant and from the moon sign. I explained that in a video. So that means that in itself tells about that the real wealth can only be acquired through blessing or grace. Same is the way when we talk about the destiny point or the fortune point, over there you cannot overlook the importance of Rahu. Like we know that in the modern times, in the Kali Yuga, all of your desires are somehow being controlled by Rahu. Now whether Rahu is like constructive or whether Rahu is going chaotic in your chart, for that you have to also take into consideration its dispositor strength as well. The topic on which I just recently uploaded a video. If you haven't watched that, please watch that, because you cannot just come to any conclusion of decoding Rahu only via looking at the mere placement of Rahu in your chart. You have to see its dispositor as well, because that will tell about the true intent and dignity of the Rahu. Same is the way, friends, like when we talk about the desires, because this concept of Bhrigu Bindu or the destiny point or the fortune point is also explained as the unfulfilled wishes or the unfinished task or the pending karma as well. So see, when we talk about desire in the Bodhisattva, in the Buddhism, Gautam Buddha has attached desire as the root cause of suffering, as the root cause of the dukh, like the Hindi word. So and obviously, like if your desires are not checked properly, even an emperor can die like dissatisfied. Same is the case like any other poor person in his kingdom. So that means the nature of the desires, like what kind of goals you were pursuing even from the past life, that can be decoded through this Bhrigu Bindu. Like the way, friends, whenever we talk about the prospects of the destiny, because in my case as well, in my chart, my Rahu is very strong. And sometimes when I talk to my family or to my other fellow astrologer friends, I sometimes wonder like what kind of destiny God has given to me. Like there are those points where people who have very high IQ level than me, like people who are working as a neurosurgeon, scientist, working in Europe, and they are like booking their consultation and taking their advice from me. And they are taking their advice from a guy who few hours back was working in a night shift in a factory packing plastic. So Rahu has a way of twisting your destiny, your fortune. So and also, friends, now talking about this Bhrigu Bindu, it plays a very significant role even when we talk about the transit as well. Like it has been generally seen, the transit of planet Jupiter from your Bhrigu Bindu could be a time of some stupendous success, because see, when we are taking into consideration the Bhrigu Bindu, here we are talking more of the fated events. So that means if Jupiter is transiting, some positive fated event can happen in your life. If Saturn is transiting, there might be sudden burden of the responsibilities which will come to you. If it is the transit of Rahu or Rahu Ketu, then this could be a time of some sudden unexpected events. Because see, the way it has been seen, the general interpretation of the Bhrigu Bindu is that if you will find this point to be in the Kendra Bhava, like generally we say that it's a good placement, and native find its calling much earlier in the life. If it is placed in the trine house, then that in itself tells about that you are pursuing something very holy, very auspicious. And like the way we say that, for many people say that it's not my goals, it's the God's work I'm doing, and these people are actually doing some good deeds, like people who end up achieving many things in their life which actually benefits the humankind, and then they get labeled as that just because they were doing the God's work, so the omens supported them. This could be a case that they have Bhrigu Bindu in the trine houses. And if you have your Bhrigu Bindu in the Dushtana Bhava, like 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, so it's not bad. It's just like that you might have to deal with service, you might have to do the remedies, endure and like face the hardship. And after going through struggles, the destiny will unlock in the latter half of the life after facing some initial struggle. And these people have to be very careful. See friends, like the way we say, I was like listening to this Vastu expert in one of the videos, and he was explaining this thing that you have to be careful. Like for example, if someone sold a property to you, sold a plot, land, piece of land to you, and the original cost of that land was, for example, let's say in Indian currency 10 lakh rupees. 10 lakh rupees, just because he had some emergency, some pain, some suffering, and he was forced to sell in half of the price. So that means the person who has bought it in half of the price, he is thinking about that he got a good deal, but he have also bought the half cost worth of suffering as well. So again friends, that is the reason we say that when you get into the nitty gritty of the interplay of the energies, so then you get to know that if some sudden overflow of the money has come to you, it's not only the money, you have to be rather, more than being in a mode of celebration, you have to be alarmed that why suddenly big flow of money has come, for what purpose and reason it has come. So that could be a separate discussion. But now friends, I will switch to the narration part, and we will look at all the attributes of the Bhrigu Bindu, destiny point, or you call it fortune point, which is very important for you to know. So after this, now we will switch to the narration part. So friends, I have briefly talked about the formula to calculate Bhrigu Bindu, but beyond the formula, Bhrigu Bindu is the midpoint between Rahu and the moon in the birth chart. Mathematically simple, philosophically very profound. So we know that Rahu, which represents the future karma, hunger, unfulfilled desire. Now moon, which talks about your memory, your mind, your emotional conditioning. And Bhrigu Bindu is where the soul experiences karma consciously. So if Rahu is what pulls you forward and moon is what conditions you emotionally, Bhrigu Bindu is where life forces you to live the lesson. So now friends, talking about his like scriptural and classical foundations. So while the term Bhrigu Bindu is more prominent in Bhrigu Nandi and Jaimini based lineage, the principle is deeply classical. See, sage Bhrigu tradition, sage Bhrigu is repeatedly described as the seer of destiny and karma unfolding across lifetimes. Bhrigu's approach does not ask what will happen, but where the soul must pass through experience to evolve. Rahu and Chandra axis, like Rahu and Moon axis in the classics, like from Bhrat Prashara Hora Shastra, it says Rahu Chandryo Yoge Jantu Sansare Bhramati. When Rahu and Moon interact, the native wanders repeatedly through worldly experience. This wandering point is experienced through Bhrigu Bindu. Now Jaimini Sutras like emphasize Rashi based karmic activation, not the planetary ego, and Bhrigu Bindu over there function as the trigger point where karma becomes lived reality. Now the core spiritual meaning of the Bhrigu Bindu, if I were to give you one line definition, is Bhrigu Bindu is the house where the soul cannot escape experience. You may succeed or fail elsewhere. You may detach elsewhere. But Bhrigu Bindu house demands participation. This is where life keeps returning. Events feel fated. Emotional involvement is unavoidable. Now, psychological role of Bhrigu Bindu is that Bhrigu Bindu marks where the mind gets absorbed, where memories form deeply, where attachment or aversion shapes personality. So, all the trauma, passion, obsession, devotion all arise here. Now, Bhrigu Bindu, like it becomes like a life purpose indicator. See, you have to understand that unlike the 10th house, which is the house of your career, or Atma Karaka, planet with the highest degree, which tells about your soul nature, and the Dharma houses, which also talks about the path, Bhrigu Bindu shows why you incarnated into experience itself. So, this is experiential purpose, not the moral purpose. I always say, whenever we talk about the morals, we talk about Jupiter, we talk about the 9th house, but Bhrigu Bindu as a life purpose indicator talks more about the experiential purpose. Now, friends, now I will give you a brief overview of house-wise Bhrigu Bindu interpretation, like the core karma and the soul evolution. So, let's say for example, if your Bhrigu Bindu is in the first house, it talks about the identity karma. That means the soul learns selfhood through struggle, repeated reinvention of the personality, and the ego cries for the self-realization. And the evolution generally happens from the self-obsession to the self-awareness. Now, friends, just because here we are talking about the fortune point, like now based on what kind of like Rashi is here. Like for example, if you are Aries rising, so Aries is a very individualistic sign. So that means your destiny will unlock where you have to by yourself take the initiative. You might have to show the courage. So all of that will play a very significant role. Let's say for example, if in your case, your Bhrigu Bindu is in the first house and your ascendant is Capricorn, then in itself, like you will have that builder kind of capacity to shoulder heavy big responsibilities. So that is how you have to attach it. But yes, Bhrigu Bindu's like placement in the first house tells about that there is a lot which will unfold in your life, and this is what you would have been dreaming even from the past many lifetimes as well. Now let's say for example, if your Bhrigu Bindu is placed in the second house, so it will talk more about the value and the survival karma. That means family, money, speech will define the destiny. And again friends, here we are talking about something, because whatever comes from the Rahu and Ketu, it's like that part of destiny which is fixed, which is fated. So that means in this area there will be many fated events which the native will experience. This could be a case, see friends, I have seen that many times, where someone who is born in a very middle class family, and everyone has lived their life with contentment and within their range, but somehow you are born in the same family with very high ambitions. Like couple of days back I was watching this documentary on the Genghis Khan in National Geographic, although I was watching it in the Disney. So, and yeah, none of his predecessor or in his family has crossed the borders of the Mongolian Empire, and think about in the lines which Genghis Khan he thought. So that means that is the only reason he created a legacy for himself. So I mean to say, if your Bhrigu Bindu is in the second house, there is going to be many fated things which will happen in the domain of the family, in the domain of the money, or this could be you are a born musician. And again friends, second house is also the house of the mission with which you are born. So Rahu will play a very significant role in giving you a life purpose. that sense of inner calling. Or this could be a case that whenever like important planetary transit will happen over your this Bhrigu Bindu point, so it can unfold some events. So yes, this house placement of Bhrigu Bindu talks about the value and the survival karma. Family, money, speech will define the destiny. So friends, in short, the summary is your fated path involves managing family resources, speech, or finance. You may experience a karmic responsibility toward your family's lineage or wealth. Now, when we talk about your Bhrigu Bindu being in the third house, so it talks more about your destiny be connected with your efforts and your willpower. So this is a effort and will karma. Like life will test the native through courage and consistency in your efforts. And communication will also become a very important destiny tool. So destiny could be found through communication, media, siblings, or short travels. You are meant to develop a specific skill or craft that serves you as your life's vehicle. So again friends, you know this thing that whenever we talk about the involvement of the Rahu, it has got more to do with something for which your soul has been craving even from the past life. So and this placement of the Bhrigu Bindu also talks about the unfinished task which has been in continuation from the past. So that means you will have that pioneer mindset. And let's say, for example, if you are able to like build a company completely relying on your own efforts, or if you have that specific skill, so it is coming and flowing in from the past. And also friends, because it's the Bhrigu Bindu that also tells about that your relationship with your siblings, your friends, that will also be defined by something for which you by yourself have sown the seeds in the past. So your evolution is from anxiety to fearless expression. Now if your Bhrigu Bindu is in the fourth house, now we know that fourth house which talks about the home, your heart, your emotional security. So the karma will revolve around family, mother, property, and inner peace. Your destiny may unfold through real estate, domestic stability, or emotional healing. See, friends, fourth house is the most important house because no matter how much you have achieved or accomplished, are you contented? Are you secure? Are you at peace? That we get to know from the fourth house. Along with that, your capacity to make people come together for a cause. Like, you know, those people who start a institution and then automatically people start joining them, and from a very small setup it becomes a very big organization. So all of that happens because of the fourth house, your capacity to connect the masses and build it into something. So if I were to summarize, this placement of your Bhrigu Bindu has something to do with the emotional security. Home, mother, peace will be repeatedly a governing factor in majority of your decision making, and inner emptiness will seek the resolution. Like in many of the situation, depending on the zodiac sign you will find here, the planetary placement you will find here, the planetary lord you will find here. So whenever your destiny has to awaken, it might happen through initially going through some feeling of lack, you're not satisfied, you're not contented, and suddenly you took a call, and wherever you ventured, that became something big. So yes, this is all what I can say. Your evolution is from dependence to inner anchoring. Now friends, when we talk about if your Bhrigu Bindu is in the fifth house, it has to do with the intelligence, it has to do with the creativity and children. So that means your destiny unfolds through your intelligence, creative projects, children, or speculative gains. There is often a fated connection to teaching or ancient knowledge. Now friends, in lot many cases I have seen that people who have got important Raj Yogas in their chart, but those important Raj Yogas are being formed in their fifth house, and the dasha of the fifth lord is coming little bit late in the life. The only thing which comes to my mind is that life will do its part where it will provide you with the riches, or if you have that, that yoga has the capacity to make you millionaire, you will also become millionaire. But that might happen because of the progeny, and when you will be in your 60s and you will be in the latter half of your life. So see, there is a difference. If the same yoga is getting formed in the 8th house, your legacy will be remembered after when you will be gone. With the 5th house, the concern is that you still have to wait for the old age. It might not be as after death, like which could be the domain of the 8th house. But yes, with the 5th house, involvement of children, your own intelligence, creativity, a lot of the things will happen which is going to be very fated. And friends, that is what we say. Like a lot of the times, if you would have noticed that whenever you would have come across a very golden period or time or opportunity in your life, the only transition which happens is that right when you were on the brink of that golden thing, somehow the prarabdh or the destiny or the fate, it moved your mind and your attention to a specific direction. So that is what people say, that oh, if destiny is everything, that means we do not have to put any efforts, we do not have to put our mind. Even your mind being put in the right direction is something which the fate and the prarabdh will decide. And I remember I was like watching this podcast of Jim Rohn, and he has said very beautiful thing. Like he was saying this thing about his life experience, that to one of my student, I gave him this like a task that hey, just you are already doing good in the life. You have already fulfilled all of your responsibilities. Why don't you set a next target for becoming a millionaire? So he says, not for the money. It's about the person you will become in order to be a millionaire. So knowing that becomes very important. So yes, the 5th house placement of the Bhrigu Bindu talks about the ego through talent, children, creativity. It also talks about the high karmic reward and the punishment cycles, and the evolution for you will come from pride to wisdom. Now friends, when we talk about Bhrigu Bindu's placement in the 6th house, so see, the 6th house placement of the Bhrigu Bindu has got to do with the service and the struggle. Like destiny is fulfilled through service, healing, or overcoming obstacles. Success may come late, often after dealing with debts or health related themes. So you might have to deal with the enemies, health, work dominate life, and there might be a constant problem solving which will keep on going in the life. So but again, through this only, through undergoing and facing all these hardship, you will rise, you will shine, and your destiny will unfold. And friends, in a way, it is also very good. Like for example, if you have your Bhrigu Bindu in the 6th house, and you would have done all the calculation, and based on your calculation, which I'm hoping that you did it in a right way, that you calculated that the golden time in your chart says that it will come after mid 40s, after in early 50s. It is also good because that is going to be the time when you do not have to worry about sharing your good fortune, or like losing your good fortune to deal with the conflict. A lot of the times it happens that you end up making good money, but all of that money went to the hospital, to the conflict, to dispute or divorce settlement. So if you do not want that, so let your big mega success come as per the divine timing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say over here. And yes, those who have their Bhrigu Bindu in the 6th house, beyond any doubt, charity, voluntary work, and service has to be a part of your life. It's not like something which is optional. It has to be like that. If you actually want the auspicious events to happen in your life, your luck to be safeguarded, protected, charity and service and the recitation of the name of the god is the only remedy for you. Now friends, let's say for example, if your Bhrigu Bindu, you will find that it is in the 7th house. It has to do with the relationship karma. That means significant life shift occurs through marriage or business partnership. You find your purpose by reflecting on others or through public facing roles. It talks more about the like partners are your karmic mirrors. Repeated relationship theme will happen in your life. And we generally say that you could do very good in the public domain or because of the support of others. But yes, for that, your seventh house and the seventh lord has to be in a good dignity. But be assured this thing that whatever your life purpose is, it cannot be achieved solely. You have to reach out, you have to be in a perfect alliance. Like the way, friends, many scholars also say this thing that if you actually want to decode the best and the golden phase of your life, like let's say for example, if you are watching this video and you're already in your 60s, so the golden period of your life, if it was in the 40s, so remember the people who were in the scene in your life, who were in your life that time. Was it a boss? Was it a helpful friend? Was it a teacher? Was it a partner? So that will tell about. So in your case, it becomes more valid. Now friends, so your evolution is going to be from projection to the self-integration. Now when we talk about that your Bhrigu Bindu is in the 8th house. So friends, we know that this is the house of the transformation. So that means a deep, intense placement where destiny involves research, occult, or managing other people's money. Life-changing events often come through sudden upheavals, or we call it death and the rebirth. So for you, this is a transformation karma, which means sudden breaks, losses, rebirth, attraction to occult or trauma healing as well. And your evolution is going to be from control to surrender. Now friends, just because for the calculation of the Bhrigu Bindu, there is an involvement of the Rahu. There is an involvement of the 8th house. All what you have to do is that just don't indulge into something which is very dark, because we always say that whatever good fortune which comes through Rahu, which comes through undertaking or doing some shadow activity or negative evil deeds, it always has a cost attached to it. So like for example, I remember like when I just started learning astrology, and one of my teacher looking at my chart, he said this thing that Nipun, your 8th house is very prominent, your Rahu is very important, very strong, and with the influence of the Mars and Saturn in the 8th house, get into the astrology, give the guidance, show the path to people, but never use occult as a scaremongering or as a tool just to get more clients, get more business. Don't get into any evil sadhana, because it will spoil your karma. And the problem which comes from the 8th house, then they never leave you. It just become attached to like your DNA, that your misdeeds, your children, your grandchildren, it might to that extent, to that level, the family has to pay back or your soul has to endure. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, that it has got huge potential. 8th house is the house of the miracles, unprecedented opportunities. But yes, there is a darkness attached over there as well, regarding which you have to guard yourself. So yes, and your evolution is going to be from control to surrender. Now friends, if your like your Bhrigu Bindu is in the 9th house, so we know that it has more to do with the wisdom and the travel. So your path is linked to higher learning, philosophy, religion, or long distance travel. A mentor or father figure often plays a pivotal role in your awakening. Now beyond any doubt, this is one of the best placement of the Bhrigu Bindu, that in itself tells about that for all of your Trishna, your desires, your longings, divinity will play a role. And like the way we say that majority of the enlightened beings, when they pray on the behalf of their Shishya, of their disciple, they just ask the God, either fulfill his wish, or if the wish is not right for him, change his mind. So that's what matters, because divinity will play a very significant role with this Bhrigu Bindu placement. All of your wishes and desires which will come to your mind are going to be implanted by the nature, by the cosmos, or whatever you will be pursuing. Life will not unsettle you. Either it will grant that wish or it will change your mind. So the philosophy becomes a lived experience. Your evolution is going to be from belief to the lived truth. Now friends, if your Bhrigu Bindu is placed in the 10th house, so it is a powerful placement for worldly success. Your destiny is highly visible and tied to your professional reputation, status, and authority. So friends, this placement also talks about that whatever you are enjoying in terms of your status or authority you hold, this is somewhat your soul has been craving from the past, or it has earned from the past. So because we know that whatever comes because of the Rahu, involvement of the Rahu, because of the involvement of the moon, our desires are deeply ingrained in our subconsciousness. The pending karma plays a very integral role over there. So yes, in this placement of Bhrigu Bindu, rise and fall in your public life will shape up your destiny. And the public life is going to be unavoidable. It's a very good placement for fame, for authority, leadership roles and all. And your evolution is going to be from ambition to accountability. Now friends, when we talk about if your Bhrigu Bindu is in the 11th house, the house of gains and social circle. So your destiny is tied to your network, elder siblings and large scale ambitions. You find your purpose through community contribution and realizing major goals. So friends, see, one flaw side of this placement is that native might have endless goals. But also when we talk about the collaborative or the society will play a very significant role. Like native will have this capacity that for whatever cause this native is pursuing, he'll be able to connect people or masses for it. So regarding that, it's a very good placement, and we generally say that it might be good for the material success, but satisfaction remains elusive. And also friends, because see, 11th house has got the potential for giving you popularity, giving you success, but you have to understand it is also 6th from the 6th. If 6th house tells about normal cold and flu and normal diseases, 11th house talks about those diseases which requires big procedure, major expenses and all. So I mean to say 11th house has got its own nitty gritty, own set of gifts and rewards. But I always say that if suddenly life has opened door of opportunities for you, life has suddenly been very benevolent and kind to you, so you need to share that fortune with others as well, because with the 11th house there is a involvement and say of Saturn which comes. But one thing is for sure, whatever goal you are chasing, pursuing, or if there has been that calling right from the childhood, from early days of your life, that you always wanted to become a pilot, you always wanted to become an army general, or wanted to serve for a specific patriotic cause, so it has been instilled from the past. It is coming in from the past. Even in the past life, you might be doing something in the similar lines as well. So your evolution is from craving to contribution. And friends, when we talk about your Bhrigu Bindu's placement in the 12th house, so friends, this is kind of a, we know that 12th house is the highest of the moksha bhava, so this is the house of the release. So this talks about that karma is tied to foreign lands, isolation, hospitals or spirituality. You may find your true path only after letting go of material attachment or working behind the scenes. So that means with this placement of Bhrigu Bindu, foreign land might have something connected to your fate, to the opportunities. Charity, donation will play a very significant role for inviting auspiciousness or omens for you. And again friends, when we talk about that awakened sense of purpose, many times what happen is that, like, see, everyone has got a different divine timing. You might have proven to be lucky that when you were like just in the early 20s, you landed at a good job, you got married at the mid 20s, but somehow once you have reached early 40s, mid 40s, now you are lacking that energy, drive, and you somehow find yourself unfulfilled. So that is the time when the destiny can take a turn, and somehow the Bhrigu Bindu might have a say over there. Like the way we say that whatever destiny or the fortune has been hiding from you, suddenly it can reveal in this stage. And that generally happens, for example, if Jupiter that time is transiting in your Bhrigu Bindu from your 12th house, so all of that can happen. And generally it has been seen that this could be a end of cycle incarnation theme as well. Like I was like listening to this very spiritual teacher. He was talking about out of the body experiences, that one of his disciple, for a moment, he almost like lost consciousness, and he was in a operation theater. Doctors almost declared him death, but when he was revived again, it was a long story, I'm telling you in short the gist of it. So he said that that he was seeing his body, and he was in a dimension that he can see doctors working on his body. But he did share this thing, that the point when he was brought back to the life and he was entering that human plane, he faced that excruciating pain on a soul level. So the time when he was in a body, he never wanted to leave the body, and when he was out of the body, he never wanted to enter back the body. So I mean to say, people who generally are born with accentuated 12th house, they have many times in life these kind of experiences, especially if Saturn is also strengthened, Ketu is strengthened, native is working hard towards the Kundalini awakening. So all of that can happen. So that means in this kind of placement, your evolution will happen from escape to moksha. Now friends, let's look at some other verticals of this discussion on the Bhrigu Bindu as well. So I'm sure that you would have understood that Bhrigu Bindu, if you have to understand it in comparison with the nodes, with Rahu and Ketu. So Rahu represents what the soul wants. Ketu represents what the soul has mastered. Moon represents how the mind processes. But it's the Bhrigu Bindu which talks about where karma must be experienced. You can renounce Ketu, you can manage Rahu, but you must live your Bhrigu Bindu. Now friends, we know that I've already talked about that Bhrigu Bindus in Dasha and transit. So the major transit is when Saturn and Jupiter are transiting over the Bhrigu Bindu. That talks about the life defining events. If Rahu is transiting over the Bhrigu Bindu, obsession, destiny, acceleration. If Ketu is transiting over the Bhrigu Bindu, this could happen, like there might be some detachment which might happen through the loss. So, and in the Mahadasha, like Dasha Lord connected to Bhrigu Bindu can open some new chapter in the life. So core life chapter. So friends, the final truth of the Bhrigu Bindu is that it is not about success or failure. It is about completion of experience. The soul evolves not by avoiding this house, but by fully inhabiting it without attachment. So friends, just always remember this, that wherever Bhrigu Bindu sits, life insists until wisdom replaces the reaction, because somehow you have been pursuing this house, the matters of this house from the past. Now friends, like let's take up the case of some celebrity charts and the charts of the sages, the Rishi Tulya people as well. We know that why some lives become symbolic and not just successful. So that means how come they elevate to that level. So Bhrigu Bindu shows the stage on which the soul must act, not the applause it receives. So knowing that becomes very important. Now the very first is, let's take up the case of Narendra Modi ji, India's current Prime Minister. So in his case, you have to look at it from the perspective of his political destiny. So his Bhrigu Bindu is in the 10th house. So the core theme is that life cannot remain private. Karma must unfold in public responsibility. Now, how the Bhrigu Bindu operate in his case? So, repeated public judgment. Authority test begins from a very early phase of the life. Personal life sacrificed for the collective role. And why he did not collapse? Because Bhrigu Bindu was aligned with the Saturnian disciplines. An ego subordinated to duty. D9 chart also reinforces the public karma, and the Bhrigu law was applied successfully in his life, because when Bhrigu Bindu is in the 10th house, the soul is owned by the collective. Now when we talk about, because in the last video we also took the case of the Britney Spears. So in her case, her Bhrigu Bindu is in the 5th house. Now what could be the core theme? It talks about the creativity, performance, admiration which becomes unavoidable. Childlike psyche exposed to the mass attention. Now how the Bhrigu Bindu manifested results. So fame came before emotional maturity, identity was fused with the validation, and there has that repeated trauma through love and performance. Now why her suffering was intense? Because Bhrigu Bindu's house represents both ego and creativity. Moon Rahu midpoint activated too early in her life, and D9 chart failed to stabilize the emotional body. So Bhrigu Bindu insight in her case as a case study is when Bhrigu Bindu sits in the 5th house, the soul learns humility through brilliance. Let's take up the chart of the Vladimir Putin as well. So the power which comes through secrecy. In his case, his Bhrigu Bindu is in the 8th house. Now the core theme is control, secrecy and the survival karma. Life unfolds through crisis and shadow power. Now the Bhrigu Bindu manifestation is that there might have been repeated near-death political movements, attraction to intelligence, underground systems. Emotional detachment becomes like an armor. And why he was able to sustain the power? Because Bhrigu Bindu thrives in the pressure environments and there was no emotional dependency on the approval. And the Bhrigu law says that 8th house Bhrigu Bindu souls evolved by mastering fear, not avoiding it. We can take up the case of the Ramakrishna Paramhansa as well. His Bhrigu Bindu is in the 12th house. Now the core theme of his life has been that it can be defined as isolation, devotion, loss of ego. World must dissolve for truth to appear. That was his philosophy. And the Bhrigu Bindu manifested results through rejection of the material ambition, continuous mystical absorption, body treated as temporary instrument. And the Bhrigu fulfillment was that when Bhrigu Bindu is in the 12th house, life is meant to be ended inwardly. So friends, you would have understood it in comparison, right? That if Bhrigu Bindu is in the 5th house, it leads to fame, which leads to ego crisis, which leads to humility. If it is in the 8th house, and there is power through survival. If it's in the 10th house, authority through sacrifice. If it's in the 12th house, liberation through withdrawal. Now friends, because if we are talking about something from the past life, so you can also connect Bhrigu Bindu with the D60, with the Sastyamsa as well, because past life memory that cannot stay buried, we get to know through the Bhrigu Bindu. So D60 chart explains why Bhrigu Bindu insists. Bhrigu Bindu shows where karma plays out, and D60 shows what unfinished soul residue fuels it. So friends, if you have to read Bhrigu Bindu and the D60 methods, it's very simple. Locate your Bhrigu Bindu in the D1 chart. That will talk about the life arena. Locate the Bhrigu Bindu degrees in the D60 chart because it will talk about the past life imprint and judge on the basis of the sin and the merit residue, trauma versus mastery, repetition versus resolution. So the core theme is, let's say for example, if your Bhrigu Bindu is in the D60 chart, Dushtana Bhava, that tells more about the past life unfinished suffering, current life forces confrontation, and the manifestation will happen through repeating crisis, like deep deja vu experiences, early maturity through pain. If the Bhrigu Bindu is in the D60 chart trines, like 1st, 5th, 9th, it will talk about the past life mastery seeking expression. Soul remembers the skills instinctively and it will manifest through child prodigies, natural teachers or healers, or spiritual memory activation. If Bhrigu Bindu is in the D60 Kendras, like 1st house, 4th house, 7th house, 10th house, it will talk about authority or responsibility karma, leadership previously misused or unfinished, and the manifestation will happen through life forces responsibility, power test integrity. So friends, the classical backing for this is even from the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra on the D60 chart, that Pashtyanshe Purv Janma Kritam Pap Punyam Prakashate. In the Sastyamsa, the merits and the sins of previous births are revealed. Bhrigu Bindu simply shows where the revelation becomes unavoidable. And you can also connect with it through this axiom, through this statement that Rahu pulls the soul forward, Moon carries the memory, Bhrigu Bindu forces experience. D60 explains why escape is impossible. Or in one uncompromising line, you can predict events without Bhrigu Bindu, but you cannot explain destiny without it. So okay friends, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. If you like this video, if you have anything to share based on your own personal chart, based on wheresoever Bhrigu Bindu is there in your chart, how the fated events have happened in your life, so do write that in the comment section. It's a research platform, we all learn from each other. I highly appreciate all the comments which you put in my videos. So okay friends, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.